Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Marc with a C Pocket Show. What's a pocket show? Let's ask Marc with a C.
Hi everybody, my name's Marc with a C. I'm so thrilled to be here with you on the first ever Marc with a C Pocket Show. What is this? Well, by now you've definitely heard about things like Phase 1, intermissions, and Phase 2. But in the meantime, shows should still take place. However, they would need to be pre-recorded, wouldn't they? And they would have needed to take place in Phase 1, wouldn't they? I'm recording this on September 1st of 2020 in the way that, well, this was kind of pretty much the only place I played in 2020. This home studio, office, lo-fi setup, deedly bob. What's a pocket show gonna be? Well, on some kind of set schedule, which I have not decided as of this taping, but by the time you can see this, I absolutely will have. You're going to get a Marc with a C show without an audience. Well, you are the audience, of course, but see, I had this extra thing that I had to do in 2020 when we all had to figure out how to live stream just to keep playing, and in some cases, bands had to be like, well, wait, are you immunocompromised? Can we even get together to rehearse? I had this extra thing where a lot of my stuff is super interactive. Like literally, you can't perform it unless the audience is there to sing the backing vocals or fill in the gaps. So I had to get real creative, and I had to basically drop a bunch of songs. But what that did was, well, there's sort of this extra way that Marc with a C shows can go, and I am here to bring that to you. Now, will there be any actual live concerts in the intermission? Well, interestingly, I would like to state yes. However, they will not be in character. The only way to see those is on a basis that is set up at patreon.com/Marc with a C. Just go ahead and look through all the tiers there, and you can find out how to do it, how to take part, how to see the shows. But I must tell you, in those I am off the clock. You're not seeing Marc with a C. Now, Marc with a C songs will be performed, but it's really just Marc Serdorius. That's the name of the guy that portrays me, Marc with a C. And me, Marc with a C, today I realize that I have no fucking idea what the news is gonna look like whatever day you're able to watch this, or listen to it, or take part in any way. And I should probably start off with at least something kind of positive. Well, I mean, truly, it's really just an absolutely absurd song, but regardless, I think I should at least consider starting somewhat positive. So, Marc, these pocket shows, and the intermission, and all the life upheavals, they're gonna be fine. And besides, people are gonna pick up just how far in advance you planned this intermission. It just didn't arrive in the same package that you planned for years. But separate from all of that, Marc, it's all gonna be all right. We're all gonna be all right if we pick our chins off the floor. We can eat whatever we want, and we're not gonna gain a pound. We're all gonna be alright if we drink responsibly, and if we smoke but don't inhale, and if we play air hockey tipsy. It's all gonna be alright, everything will be okay. So I haven't seen the news where you are, but we're all gonna be alright. We're gonna hit a Chinese buffet, then we can paint each other with pudding, and I'll let you beat me at Tetris. Yeah, we're all gonna be alright when we marry all our So now they can't ever go away. No, legally they have to stay. Ha! It's all gonna be alright. Everything will be okay. It will all be fine with you and I here today. We're all gonna be alright. Everything will be okay. Besides, it's all in our minds. If you and I try, we're gonna be okay. I mean, at least I hope so. Well, if you wanna go, if you don't wanna live no more, life ain't for everyone. There's the door. But listen, I think you should stay because it's gonna be okay. I've heard it from a reliable source that it's all gonna be alright. Everything will be okay. It will all be fine with you and I here today. We're all gonna be alright. Nobody will end up in jail. I hope it will all be fine if you and I try. We're gonna be okay. Now please direct your attention to the stage because I have a very important announcement to each and every one of you, no matter who you are, even if the guy who portrays me, Marc Sardorius, is watching this. The message reads as follows. I can't remember your name, but I see you all over the place. You're friends with my acquaintances, and I know I've seen your face. You're the guy who does the thing. You do the thing with old what's his name. I'm mightily embarrassed, I must admit, 'cause your name starts with a J. Didn't I see you one time at the one thing, and you were wearing the same shirt as that guy? Said something or other about the other thing that someone else I just saw tonight. But I can't remember your name, and I can't disguise all my shame. I'm tempted to have a go at it, but I forgot it just the same. Let's have a mosquito solo, eh? Didn't I see you one time at the one thing, and you were wearing the same shirt as that guy who said something or other about the other thing to someone else I just saw tonight? Everybody, I can't remember your name, but I see you all over the place. You're friends with my acquaintances, and I know I've seen your face, but still, I can't remember your name. Well, that's I Can't Remember Your Name from the very out-of-print album, Exactly Where I Am. I did screw something up in there, and I'm glad that I did. Well, I'm not glad I did, but it gives me the chance to tell you this interesting thing. See, I know that when we see music recorded ahead of time, especially with video, we assume there's been some dicking around with it, right? We assume that someone's gone in and fixed all the bad notes. Well, listen, if I ever do that kind of thing, I have definitely been open about it. I'm thinking about it, wondering, wait, I'm sure there's something where I was like, okay, secretly but if I did, it was very minor. No retakes. No. You are getting the straight up show. See, I've preached DIY, independence, that what I do isn't funded by a money machine or somebody telling me what it's gonna be like. But why do I do lo-fi? Why do I hug Low Fidelity and bring it closer to me? Pet it. Flip it, smack it, rub it down. Why? There's myriads. The reasons are just myriad. I cannot possibly go into every single reason. But one of the main reasons that I do it, and why I leave so much in the warts and all sort of territory, is when I show up to play music, this is all I ever wanted to do. So I'm really happy to do it. And I want to celebrate that with you, whoever you happen to be. Whether you're a hardcore, long-time listener, or you just heard a song, or you heard you're supposed to check me out, right? Or you stumbled here by accident, maybe. I want to do those things with you. But I also want to be honest, and I find that the quicker that I can just send the song to you, or the performance, or basically, when you learn the information kind of exactly the same way that I did, we can share an experience. There's a probably much better way to put all this than I just did, but the clock is ticking, and this show will be a little bit longer than your average pocket show, but not by much. Today, think somewhere between the average opening set and not quite a headlining show. And the other pocket shows will probably be shorter, except for special occasions. You'll know. Trust me on that one, friends. So, here is a tune that I had planned to play a lot on the 2020 tour. Yes, going to see all of you and playing in your domiciles, your local comic book stores, your DIY venues. I could not wait to exhume this song. And I was thwarted by so very much. You all are aware. You lived on the same planet I did. So, here is the tune that, I think it probably... You may not realize what this song is a metaphor for. Let's just say I've known where I was headed for a long time. This is called What If I Can't Swim? I went to the boat dock because the walls were bothering me. I needed answers, but the walls refused to talk to me. Then I went to the boat dock and I couldn't see a thing. I had to jump into the water because I couldn't be cleansed by rain. But what if I can't swim? And what if I've forgotten how to tread? Well, I guess I'll find out. I guess I'll find out when the water rushes up to meet my head. I think I left the boat dock, but I can't remember when. And I didn't shed my clothes, so I don't know how I left. I didn't take off my shoes, I did not remove my pants. I didn't empty out my pockets, no, the water emptied them. But what if I can't swim? What if I've forgotten how to tread? I guess I'll find out. I guess I'll find out when the water rushes up to meet my head. I never learned to float. My body's not a boat, but it's a vehicle when it meets the undertow. If I go back to the boat dock, I'm never coming back. It isn't up to me, so I gotta watch my back. If I go to the boat dock, well, at least I left you this. And I'll be checking up on you because I'd like to think that I'm missed. But what if I can't swim? What if I've forgotten how to tread? I guess I'll find out. I guess I'll find out when What If I Can't Swim? That was originally on the album Life's So Hard. Was it elsewhere? Probably. I don't know. I released a lot of stuff. And it's true. Every time you've heard me say, I don't know, make sense of it when I'm dead, regarding my discography, I'm kidding a lot less than you think. This is my Brita water filter bottle. It's portable. I love this sucker. My grandson loves this sucker too. Just rad. Yes, this is me hand modeling. They're not paying me to say this, but they can. If anybody from the Brita Corporation is like, hey, that dork doing the lo-fi, we definitely need to give him money to talk about our little portable water. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I actually considered trying to shill for throat coat tea. No joke. I can provide proof if I really gotta. Not saying never, though. See, I'd always been the artist happiest to sell out. I made up these songs, and once I put them out, I knew that people were going to hear them, and I did hope that maybe there could be some exchange of money at some point. So just having a song in a commercial, that's a much bigger version of that. I don't blame absolutely anybody on the planet who went, I don't think Marc with a C needs to represent my brand. I can't say that I blame them. But somebody who was absolutely cool with showing off the way I represented their brand, the folks behind Rocky Horror Picture Show and Shock Treatment. That's right. As many of you know, and as many of you are about to find out, when Shock Treatment, the sequel/equal to Rocky Horror Picture Show, made its debut on Blu-ray, songs that I had covered years ago, and I do mean years ago, at this point, 21 years ago in some cases, in fits of depression, which got a bit of a cult following, these recordings, well, they were included on the Shock Treatment Blu-ray. Some people even kind of were like, hey, Marc, you're kind of the reason that this had a resurgence. I don't buy that. Please don't say that about me. That's not true. Besides that, I ran into, in my travels, so many people who loved Shock Treatment, and in a lot of cases saw it long before Rocky Horror. And maybe, the more that I think about it, around 40% of the people that I've talked to that love it, it took them a while before they even realized it was related, which I just think is neat. Anyways, this is my rendition of the title track. It's a really beautiful tune. I'm not a locum with motive to suture myself. I've been a cynic for too many years. Playing doctor and nurse can be good for your health. I've seen clinics with those mimics in Tangier. But if you open your heart to a smooth operator, he'll take you through all that you've got. He'll hand you a curse that'll be with you later. It'll shake you the way he takes off like a shot. You need a bit of shock treatment to get you jumping like a real live wire. Just a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a sister that'll certify ya. You're blinded by romance and blinded by science. Your condition is critically grave. But don't expect mercy from such an alliance. Suspicion of tradition so new wave. You need a bit of shock treatment to get you jumping like a real live wire. Just a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a sister that'll certify ya. Just a bit of shock treatment. Look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a sister that'll certify ya. If you've never heard the original version of shock treatment, okay, first of all, there's two original shock treatments. One is the one that's heard in the movie. It's kind of sung by most of the whole cast. There's a totally different vocal version of it that was released solely as a 12-inch single. And Richard O'Brien, you would best know him as playing Riff Raff in Rocky Horror Picture Show. And if you're across the pond, very likely you know him as the host of Crystal Maze. Which, my God, Crystal Maze. Why don't we get programming like that in America? And if we ever do, can I have some time to watch it? Seriously. I remember I used to have time to even doom scroll. That was fun. Right? Anyways, when I play this next tune for you, I just want you to imagine that there is some dude, because it's definitely a dude, right? There's a dude watering his lawn. He's been watering it for 45 minutes, and he's watering the same fucking spot over and over and over. Just kind of looking forlorn, but he doesn't want to let on. He's too damn proud. We all know him. He won't let on that he's down in the dumps. So every time a neighbor passes by, lifts his head, does one of those numbers, right? A quick wave. But then he looks back down again. And when you pass by him, you can see that his house didn't exactly just cost $150. I mean, it's no governor's mansion, but it ain't too shabby. It's a nice dwelling. And you can see that lawn definitely gets a lot of attention, because not only is he just watering the same parts over and over again, but it looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, this guy measures his dick by how many compliments he gets on his lawn. You've met his wife, and he fits like the Family Guy trope. He's just an average looking fucker, but somehow his wife is of the trophy variety, one of those, okay, one of you owed the other a life debt kind of situations, right? Best as you can tell, you look at the fairly nice cars in the driveway, you put it all together, you're going, what on earth could be missing? I guess it's possible to just be depressed. Depression doesn't really have logic, and it doesn't really give a fuck if you've got it made in the shade or if you're homeless, you know? Depression does what it's gonna do with you, so maybe he's depressed, right? So, you finally walk up to him. Like, hi there. Listen, I can't help but notice, but for like an hour every day, I watch you watering your lawn. I mean, I don't watch you for the whole hour, but I have noticed this. And you look so sad. Do you need to talk? And his eyes, they don't light up, but they do widen as he looks up from the lawn. And he can't wait to finally get it off his chest. I got a job, it ain't much, but it pays some of the bills. And I got a big boy car that gets this grown-ass man around at will. I got a girl, she's not bad, she looks good without clothes. And I got a car closet full of dockers to fulfill my khaki Jones. Where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. I got a dog and a cat. I got 2 mortgages. I got friendly neighbors who talk about religion a lot. I got this patch of grass to call my very own. I got an HOA and they regulate. I got a garden full of Miracle Grow. But listen, where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. We got the technology. We got everything we need. Truly, truly, we live in the future. There's plenty of wires and lots of steel. And right now, I've got all the fields because I even have to sing this song. Where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. Where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. Oh, where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. Where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. You know, there's many times that I miss playing with the Marc with a C trio. Emmett Dobbin on the bass, Jim Myers on the drums, but very few songs make me miss them more than playing Where's My Giant Robot. The ending, I love the way that we built it up together, and Jim Myers sings the part. Well, I mean, I sang all the parts on the record, of course, but don't mean to say of course, like, of course I did. I'm a Svengali, I'm a genius. No, I don't mean it that way. I mean, most of you know that my bullshit is so specific that it's pretty wild if anybody else wants to produce it, so it's usually just me on my records. But Jim Myers took it upon himself to bring back, to exhume my favorite part of the song, which is the intensely out of place sha-la-la-la-la. Right, Jim Myers. Wow. What a great guy. Well, friends, we're at about the halfway point with the songs that I plan to play for you today. This one's going to be pretty interesting. For me, I hope interesting for you as well. What's so interesting about this one? Well, there's a very good chance that right now when you're looking at this, I have a brand new album out. It's called Low Fidelity, or How I Spent the Nervous Breakdown. I don't really intend to say more than you know about it. But this tune, I'll tell you one thing, and it's kind of specific to this song, and you can apply it however you'd like to the project, because I prefer that you just think about it. It's a lot more fun if you just think about it and wonder. This song has roots from well before Marc with a C. I'm talking way before Marc with a C. I will also tell you that I wrote my first set of lyrics towards the tail end of being 5 years old. Things that happen within Low Fidelity have been in my brain since. So, now that I've given you this huge build-up, here is one of the dumbest songs on the record. This song is... I just couldn't decide what to call it, and as of right now, I don't know I just don't remember what the artwork says. It hasn't arrived yet. It's at the pressing plant right now, September 1st, 2020. But to you, it's probably yesterday's loaf. This is probably old news. So let's play this song, shall we? One summer I screwed up worse than I ever did, but this time I'll know when to say when. That summer was mostly snot. I smoked a little, but I coughed a lot. This time I'll know when to say when. I won't screw up again. I won't screw up again. This time I'll know when to say when. One summer I left my home, bussing around San Diego, thinking this time I'll know when to say when. Carefully scraping out the barn, but there was something off at my carry on. Oh, will I ever learn when to say when? I probably won't, but I won't screw up again. I won't screw up again. This time I'll know when to say when. I won't screw up again. I won't screw up again. This time I'll know when to say when. Last summer screwed me up worse than I ever been. I don't guess I've ever been the same. I overshared most everything, but at least I didn't get horny on Maine, 'cause that time I knew when to say when. But I won't screw up again. I won't screw up again. This time I'll know when to say when. I won't screw up again. I won't screw up again. This time I'll know when to say when. Ow! Well, it comes the point in every Marc with a C performance where I've played longer than I should have before tuning. Now, something you may care about, or you might not, but either way, it's something I'm going to say. This guitar has been the main Marc with a C stage guitar pretty much since there was a Marc with a C. It makes an appearance at least on every record but Obscurity. And the reason it didn't show up for Obscurity is probably not that interesting. But the acoustic guitars that we used on Obscurity belonged to Evan Dando of the Lemonheads, though. But it's seen so much use and abuse that the intonation is totally fucked, and past that, you can't really do all that much with intonation on an electric acoustic. But when I strap this guy on, it feels like it's Marc with a C time. So I do my best to keep it in check and ready to go. Because some days, it's not there. Some days, you don't feel like doing the thing. You need a little kick in the pants to do it. And sometimes, just having the right tool makes you ready to go. Makes you ready to work. Makes you ready to create. Makes you ready to try to make something. Well, I don't know how much that has in common with this next song, but if you've seen the film, The Obscurity Show, which is my movie, edited by Emmett Dobbin, shot by Cat Blackard, narrated by Dick Steele. The Obscurity Show is a 2-act, 1-person music story, and truthfully, if I have to be remembered for anything, ever, I would like all 104 minutes of that to, if possible, just be playing on a continuous loop on my tombstone, or, just however we're going to remember people going forward. But in that, I tell this long story about, and it is true that the song was sort of written, not even sort of, this song was written as the imagined response from Roxanne back to Sting from the Police. But in truth, and I'm gonna be careful what I say here, because I don't want you to take away the wrong thing, and I certainly don't want to make it sound like I'm kidding. I support sex workers, and I don't mean that I spend money on them or, I support them, but not for their goods and services, right? Like, I'm totally cool with them existing, and I think we fucking all ought to be. I feel a lot of solidarity with them, because some of the things that carried on through the years to do as Marc with a C were not necessarily exciting or even fun for Marc Sertorius. He grew so far out of what Marc with a C was known for that sometimes it was a little bit like prostituting yourself, going back to older ideas for the good of the patron. You want them to have a good time. Their good time is your mission. I saw a lot of semblance of, well, how do I put it? A little solidarity between myself and some manners of sex workers. Though I know sex workers have psychological and physical things I can't even imagine. I can't even dream up. So if in any way you've ever heard this song, maybe, and you thought that this was a dig at sex workers, no. It was always a dig at the people who were like, we gotta save you. Because what I never see anybody doing is considering maybe they just really like this job. Maybe they just like doing this. And it just so happens that they can monetize it. Exhibitionists exist. I gotta say, if you were to ask me why I do what I do, my answers probably won't be much different from that of the sex worker that you're imagining right now. So, one of my very favorite songs on the album Obscurity, this is Maybe. Day, and I just done cowgirl twice. My limbs were shaking when you entered my life. We lined up like a crime scene, chromosome by chromosome. When you saw something in me you couldn't get at home. Then we talked about hard limits, but I forgot to include what nights you think I might need to be rescued. So I said no to bareback and no kissing on the mouth. But nothing in my eyes said I wanted out. Did you ever stop to think that you're the desperate one? Maybe I don't need saving, though you say your mind's made up. Maybe I like this makeup. Maybe I like this red light. And maybe you just bore me night after night. It's not the world's oldest profession, but it's probably pretty close. And according to my recollection, it's me you chose. And look, I was happy with that arrangement. Attachment ain't my thing. I'm a limited time engagement. I'm a fling. But I suppose our menu doesn't really specify that this girlfriend experience does not add up over time. Maybe if you saved up and you paid for enough nights, I could get paid to pretend that you just saved my life. Maybe. Don't stand so close to me. Did you ever stop to think that you're the Maybe. Definitely, maybe. Here's another one from Obscurity. And also the Obscurity show film, I suppose. When this song had been performed live for basically the last 2 years, I told the story of how the music video for One of These Are Gonna Be Your Day ended up on the Grammy ballot. I should rephrase. I didn't tell the story of how it happened because, truthfully, I have no idea how it happened. I know some names that were involved, but I don't know what they did. And you would not know the name. We'll just put it that way. But that said, it still thrills me. And then just the fact that it ended up on the ballot, but then it went so high up from like 35,000 to even like come close to even the top 100. That's just wild. It's wild. I still can't wrap my anything around it. But importantly, there's this other part that I always walk away from. And that's, I get asked, well, what's the song about? And I say the song's about hope, and it is. And some people thought the song was for or dedicated to Aubrey, a friend of mine who we'd been raising money for cystic fibrosis, or her battle with cystic fibrosis. And it just so happened that right as I think finished maybe the second demo of the song, we were putting out an EP that was all recorded on a 4-track, and I had just tried out the machine, that specific 4-track machine, making that demo. So I slapped it on the beginning, but it never dawned on me that people would they would think it was about or to Aubrey, and it's not. If you watch any of the footage of the interviews that were done pretty much all on Fox, which is fucking weird, right? There's always me saying, I will never tell you what the song's about. That part is still true. But I will tell you this. One of these are going to be your day. I often use it to frame telling you that whatever you think you're here for, you probably are. And whatever it is that you want to do, I believe that you can probably do that. I think the first step is often getting over ourselves and our perceived limitations. I think. I don't know everything. To crib from Michael Nesmith, I know what I know, and what I know is I know nothing. The whole reason I'm bringing this up is, for this reason, One of These Are Going to Be Your Day may seem like it was a weirdly self-fulfilling prophecy, that maybe I was talking about, or maybe it seemed to you like I was, since I have mentioned that I wrote the song for myself. Maybe you thought it had something to do with like, oh, one of these days you're going to make it musically or something, and it wasn't. Had nothing to do with that. And that's what I'm never going to tell you. Except, you ready? If the day that I'm referring to arrives, then I'll tell you. I don't think it's likely. So that's your goal. Help this thing that you have no idea what it is and you can't even imagine, and I'm speaking so vaguely that I can't believe you're paying attention right now. Help me make that thing come true, and I will finally tell you what I wrote this song about, because otherwise, if I told you, I would just be telling you what the song's about while the thing didn't happen, and then we'd all be depressed. So, let's keep it positive and hopeful, at least for right now. There's other shows we can do that can fit in your pocket the whole time. You won't be jumping out of your skin forever. Pretty soon the jitters have gotta go away. Things can't always be so damn undone. just an alphanumeric display. But oh, it's tough to say since it sounds so cliche, like a rhyme scheme that goes A, A, A. When Gilmore led the Floyd Brigade, they still had on the turning away, and one of these are gonna be your day. Most of what we know is temporary. A few sleeps and the bad dwindles away. You can search for islands that you don't get, or you can be your own Daniel Faraday. And oh, it's tough to say since it sounds so cliche. It's like a rhyme scheme that goes A, A, A. If you're in a hole you didn't make, well, maybe that's just special K, but one of these are gonna be your day. One of these are gonna be your day. Well, I got two more for you today. One you probably just did not see coming at all, but I hope you're happy about it. Yes, when I tune down to drop D, that usually means that we're about to play Dick Puncher 3, The Dickening. I'm not about to play Dick Puncher 3, The Dickening, though. I mean, I will when I'm done with this, because that's how we're going to end the show today. But I'm dropping down to D to alternately play one of the oldest songs in my entire catalog and also one of the more recent ones. The song was truly written years and years and years ago. And many of you probably have the original EP that it appeared on. Or it also appeared very early on a compilation called The Early Stuff. But it's probably best known for closing the album Unicorns Get More Bacon. I could go on and on about this song for eons. Truly, if I had to do an interview where it was just, hey Mark, tell us everything about the song Long Distance Dedication, I could probably go for 8 hours uninterrupted. I'm as positive as I can be that nobody on the planet would want that. So I'll tell you this bite-sized thing about it. Though the project that it initially sprung from absolutely was inspired by a number of, I guess, idiosyncratic people. That's a good way to put it. And a lot of ladies that had some very specific stuff in common. This song was mostly about one, a real live person. Best as I know, they're still real and still alive. But we couldn't continue being friends, and that really sucked. It was really circumstantial. It wasn't like one got mad at the other, and no, it was a complete matter of circumstance, to the point where we had to have like a friend breakup talk. This was done probably around 2014 or so. I'm just ballparking. But the person that I was referencing, and I was mostly talking about somebody else maybe being the object of her affection, and how they might feel based on some other things that I knew about her. How do I put this? We were never like romantically intertwined or anything, but we would not be the people that we are without having known each other. And importantly, I think we would both be just about the two most unfulfilled people on the planet had we not met each other at the time that we did, learned what we learned about the other one, and then applied that to our own lives. And if there's any chance that this lady is out there and somehow stumbling upon this, the circumstances are different. I'm just a coward. I'm afraid to reach out to you because I don't like rejection. And I heard how hard you cried because I was crying too, you know, when we had to part as friends. I'm still feeling real sheepish about that day because I'll never forget the sound of you sobbing in my ear. I'll never forget it. I can hear it right now. So if you can hear this or see this, you're still in my heart. And if you're not scared, hit me up. Let's chat. I miss you. I miss you terribly. All right. Now here's the song, Long Distance Dedication, for absolutely everybody else who just sat through a very personal thing. That was both the act Marc with a C and potentially a little Marc Sardorius right here together. But here goes this tune. It's an important one to me. This is one of the first ones that somebody heard that didn't kind of have like a punchline to it or something kind of silly about it. And the person who told me to keep working on this was a lady known as Jessica Frick. She's been remarried. I don't know what her current last name is, but I knew her as Jessica Frick. And were it not for her, I probably never would have done anything with this song. So I guess this song goes out to two people today. And they're both named Jessica. She acts surprised to hear his voice on the telephone and says, "Silly boy, don't ever scare me like that." She seems so comfortless when she's on the telephone and says October is only 2 months away. Then she says, if you need to get away, I never want to rustle up the dirty bed you've made, then come to Chicago and have a warm meal for a change. Does she sleepwalk? Does she need to be held to get to sleep? And would she wake me up at 3 a.m. to offer something to drink? Or does she slow down when it's too much for her weary feet? And does she stay up thinking about when I'm thinking about her and me? I think I'll take a plane 'cause I need to get away, running on fumes, bumming friends, spare change. I'll go to Chicago and share a warm bed for a change. I never thought of you as others do. Innocent and untainted never crossed my mind. If you think I'm delusional, that's fine. But if life permitted, I'd give you what's left of the best years of my life, of my life. She acts surprised when he hangs up the telephone and says, silly boy, you don't know me at all. effortless and whimsical and all of the above. And October is just too far away when she moans like, oh, 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 oh. And when she says, love like you've never been burned, work like you don't need the money, kiss like your tongue is on fire, love like you've never been burning, suck like you don't need the money, kiss like your tongue is on fire, love like you've never been burned, work like you don't need the money, kiss like your tongue is on fire, yeah. Love like you've never been burned, suck like you don't need the money, kiss like your tongue is on fire, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. So you might ask yourself, hey, Mark, if that song means so much to you, why didn't you play it live more often? And truthfully, there's two reasons. One is the ones that really matter to me. I do, until they become, or unless they were to become, an audience favorite, like one of those, damn it, people are gonna be upset if you don't play this song, I would try to pace myself with it. I didn't want to get sick of it. And I definitely didn't want you to get sick of it. I wanted to treat it special. But secondly, because like you saw in the second build, I always get in my own damn head about it, and I always fuck it up. Like I get so in my head about the things that I knew that it inspired it, just literally thinking about the conversations that she was telling me about. I don't want to go too far into this because it's not my story to tell. A lot of that was based on things she would tell me about meeting new prospective suitors and things. I can remember those stories like it was yesterday, but I can tell by the rasp in my throat on the clock on the wall that it is definitely time to wrap the show up. My name is Mark with a C. What are all of your names? Doesn't matter, can't remember them. We already covered that early in the show today. So friends, I'd like to remind you, as always, acquiring enthusiastic consent before any sexual activity is never merely optional. It's always fucking mandatory. Also, acquiring consent is not always sexual, but it sure is sexy. Also, your body and all the choices that surround it, they belong to you, and only you. And I hope you never settle for less. And I hope you'll take care of anybody that you can see that might need some care. Because fuck, I don't know what the world's gonna be like when you can see this. But I can tell you right now, there's a severe lack of people taking care of each other. And that ain't making me too happy. Anyways, I'm gonna play Dick Puncher. But what am I gonna do first? See, this is a special occasion where I'm playing Dick Puncher. See, often I've told the story. You know the story. I was in my office working. My wife was in the living room playing video games. She yelled the greatest statement ever yelled in this house or in any house ever, which was, "I'm about to punch Dr. Mario in the dick." And she followed it up with, "It's about to be Dick Puncher 3, the dickening in here." Well, at that moment, I immediately went to work quietly. Like, I recorded it very quiet. If you've ever heard the demo to Dick Puncher, which I'm pretty sure actually circulates somewhere. Yeah, definitely it does. That was recorded as quiet as possible because I wanted to surprise her with a song called Dick Puncher 3, the Dickening, but I didn't really want her to know that it was me, I think. I don't remember exactly how I did it, but Why is this special? Well, not just because it's a really funny story and I love my wife and it's a cool thing that to get to tell it for so many years, but don't let these curtains fool you. Don't let this microphone fool you. This is not just my home studio. This is not just the Lo-Fi Marc with a C Films LLC studio. I can't believe that I own an LLC, but yeah. Not only are those things true, but this is actually the home office. This was the place where I am standing right now. I was actually sitting when the computer used to be right here. This is right where I stood to make this song up. So friends, well-wishers, and looky-loos, I'm Marc, you're fantastic. This is Dick Puncher 3, The Dickening. Got a message and you want it to stick, then find that recipient and punch him in the dick. Punch him in the peen. This is Dick Puncher 3. It's the dickening. If you're mad at a lawyer from Bogan Mons and Mons, gotta punch that lawyer right in his vas deferens and say it's from me. This is Dick Puncher 3. It's the dickening. Give a knuckle sandwich to his beef bayonet. Beat his tallywhacker senses with an alto clarinet. Wow! Now do you know somebody that really makes you mad? Well, treat his baloney pony just like a punching bag for his family tree. This is Dick Puncher 3. It's a dickening. Punch him in the wee-wee. It's Dick Puncher 3. It's the dickening. This is Dick Puncher 3. It's full of vitamin C. It's the dickening. Well, thanks everybody. I hope this was good for you as well. I hope you'll enjoy the next Pocket Show as well. Can't wait to do that one for you. Well, I guess I'll have to. The voice needs to, become a voice again. Best wishes to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the years of support. I hope you're enjoying the new record, and I hope you'll be interested to see where this is all going. I certainly am. And now, as always, I offer you your my patented, awkward walk to the camera. Night, everybody.